Yeah, and it was game on for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship as it became the latest series to race on the freshly repaved Road America. And they started off with drama involving the GTP pole-winning car during morning warm-up. The number 31 Action Express Racing Wheel Engineering Cadillac of Alexander Sims crashed, and the team had to scramble quickly with little time to get the car ready for the race. The number 31 looked to be one of the favorites to win entering the race. It's been quick all weekend. Pippo Durrani put it on the pole, and then this setback occurred. Luckily, they were able to make it to the grid, but they had to start at the back of the GTP field. But the pace in the car after the crash damage just wasn't there anymore, and they had to settle for a sixth-place finish. Tough day for Action Express and for the overall race winners. The number 7 Porsche 963 from Porsche Penske Motorsport. They've experienced a challenging year. However, Felipe Nasr and Matt Campbell finally put the whole race together to get the win. Jackson, did the Action Express crash and morning warm-up change how this race unfolded? And does the number 7 Porsche's win give this team a boost of morale in what's been a hard year for this group?
I think so, but it's got to be a boost of morale for that Action Express team who made the most out of a not great situation for that wheel and engineering team, but still managed to throw the car together and get the car in running condition and prevented potentially what could have been even a worse result starting from the pit lane, having to deal with those sets of penalties. So I would still say a very solid result for Pippo Durrani, Alex Sims. That being said, I do need to shout out Felipe Nasr and that whole Porsche Penske team, because not only have they been victims to the cartoon anvil in the IMSA series, but they've been watching their sister car in the number 6 just compete consistently for wins. And I think, Kobe, this is for sure finally their day in the sun. Just a textbook race, kept it up front, kept it clean, and in a new repaved track, just dominated.
Yeah, for sure. Nobody could really do anything with this number 7 Porsche. Great day for Porsche Penske Motorsport. And like you said, Action Express did the best job that they could have done, given the damage and the short turnaround to get ready for the race. And luckily for them, they're still in the championship hunt, although they lost the championship lead. So got two more races coming up at the IMS road course, and then Petit Le Mans at the end of the year. So this number 31 team, they're just, all they have to do is just forget about today, reset, because they're still in the thick of it, and they can still go out there and win a championship. So definitely made the most out of a bad day. But however, I keep wondering, if it wasn't for that crash in morning warm-up, would we be talking about an Action Express win instead of a Porsche win today? And with Action Express not having the day they thought they would have had, we have a new points leader in GTP. That's the number 10 Wayne Taylor racing with Andretti Autosport Acura, Ricky Taylor, and Felipe Albuquerque. After the first few races, this team was not meeting the expectations of everything we thought would happen this year, and we wondered if the championship could start slipping away soon if they don't get max points. However, due to inconsistency across the board in the GTP class, WTR with Andretti have been able to take the points lead despite being one of 2 full-time GTP entries yet to win in 2023. Can the number 10 team point race their way to the championship, or do you think they'll have to win one of the final 2 races? I mean, Jackson, I was looking at all the results earlier today in GTP. I'm like, wow, there's nobody who stands out. They've been really inconsistent across the board.
It was so interesting, Kobe, because at the start of the season, not only did they announce that partnership with Andretti Autosport, but it seems like so much of the gripes and the issues that Andretti's IndyCar program instantly came over to that team. Albuquerque bends it at Sebring. Jordan Taylor sends it too hard up the inside at Long Beach. These guys are struggling for consistency. Middle of the season, just sleeper finishes. I mean, they've been absolutely, don't get me wrong, they haven't been consistently fighting up front for overall wins, but they've been there. They've been sneaky. They've been fast. And it's hard for me to say. I think if I'm in that 10 crew, I definitely want some insurance wins. Absolutely. But with how much variety and how much the BOP shakes up the competition around me, over half the GTP field has won a race this year, Kobe. I genuinely think we could see 2 or 3 more new cars winning this year. The 24 BMW, I still think, is due for a win. And we still have 2 new prototype customer cars in the banana boat, the JDC banana boat with Rocky. And I still think there's a lot to prove for that Proton competition 963. It's hard for me to say right now, and I say that a lot, but I just think if it's consistently on the podium for the rest of the season, they're going to be the ones to beat, Kobe.
Yeah, totally agree with you. It seems like consistency the key. It would be really funny if Albuquerque and Taylor win this championship without winning a race. So we'll have a winless IMSA champion. That would be something else. Yeah, you mentioned Philippine Augusto Farfus in the Team RLL BMW. They're the only other full-time entry that still hasn't won this year. We'll see 2 races to go if we can see the 10 and the other Ray Hall BMW get to the top step of the podium.
Yeah, Kobe, and before we go to the race winners, I got to mention this as someone who's been a BMW fan for over 10 years. Just a hard weekend for them from the formation lap. 25 ends up in the gravel, starts a lap down, doesn't even make it 10 laps without crashing. 24, Philip Eng gets some tough love there from Rockenfeller and ends up having to fight his way back. Just a really rough weekend for that crew who was already starting the season off on the back foot, and just hoping that they can really end the season on a strong note.
Oh yeah, definitely. It was not a good day for the Ray Hall BMW team at all at Road America. I believe they finished 9th and 10th in class at the very back. So they'll try to throw out this bad day. Next, going to Indianapolis and then Petit Le Mans. We'll see if the Ray Hall team can end the year on a positive note in the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. And now looking at the other class winners, LMP2 is the number 52 PR1 Mathis and Motorsports Orca, Paul Luke Chatin and Ben Keaton. LMP3 number 74 Riley Motorsports, Gar Robinson and Josh Burden. And I'm saying Josh Burden because Felipe Fraga, he's racing in Brazil this weekend. So he had a scheduling conflict, chose to prioritize that. So that's why you see Josh Burden there with Gar Robinson, but Josh got an extra win there. And in GTD Pro, back-to-back for the number 23, harder racing Aston Martin, Ross Gunn and Alex Riberas after they won the GT-only race at Lime Rock as well. And then in GTD, 4th win of the year for the number 1 Paul Miller racing BMW, Brian Sellers and Madison Snow. And Jackson, I understand you want to add something else about the other class winners?
First of all, in P2, Ben Keating, old guys rule. Oh my God, dude. You come home from getting a championship with Corvette Racing in the World Endurance Championship and you're still kicking butt in P2. Ben Keating needs some kind of trophy from us here at Grid because he might not be getting wins, but there's not a single race car this guy will not be willing to go and drive and compete for wins in. Well over 50 years old. Have yourself a weekend, Ben Keating. GTD Pro and GTD, oh my gosh. Harder racing, the wins start coming and they don't start coming. I genuinely think easily guys that are going to be in the championship fight, going to be very interesting to see how that title fight goes with the Vassar Sullivan crew in the next couple of races. When BMW is struggling at the top of the field, it is all about Madison Snow and Brian Sellers picking that brand up and taking that team to the win a couple classes down. I don't think those guys have been outside of the top 5 or top 10 this entire season. And again, just one of the most underrated teams, Brian Sellers and Madison Snow in that number 1 BMW M4.
Yeah, for sure. And going back to Ben Keaton, it's been amazing what he's been able to do at his age. And I know if you look at his FI driver rating, it says gentleman driver, but a lot of the time Ben Keaton is really giving a lot of the all pro drivers a run for the money. So drivers like him, it's so amazing to watch what he does. And this is just a fun hobby for him. He doesn't make a living racing cars. He just comes out here to have a good time, and he's right on the pace with all of the professionals who get paid to drive race car, which is so impressive. And the start of the season that Harder Racing's had, and now back to back, I guess once you shake off the bad luck, get a win, then you don't stop winning. And we'll see if the Harder Racing can continue their win streak in GTD Pro at the next round coming up. And Madison Snow, Brian Sellers, Paul Miller Racing. I'm not sure if you saw this, Jackson, but Sports Car 365 got a scoop on this team this weekend that next year they're not going to be in GTD. That's because they're going to be stepping up to GTD Pro. So that should be very exciting for this team.
Such a great move for that team who's been just dominant in GTD in the past 2 seasons, as we were talking about. Great move for them. Really happy to see them move up the rank, Kobe.
Yeah, for sure. I guess with all the domination of doing in GTD, it might be a little too easy for them. So I guess step up to GTD Pro and see what they're really made of there. And the next IMSA race will take place on August 27th. It'll be the Michelin GT Challenge at Virginia International Raceway with the final GTD Pro GTD only race